Hey everybody, Ola aka Chalk1 from Battlefield Podcast here, and since Final Stand released today, the final DLC for Battlefield 4, I thought I'd give you a quick overview of all the stuff packed inside, because they never list everything in the release notes, and if you're anything like me, who spends a lot of time doing something other than Battlefield 4, it can be a little overwhelming and you miss stuff, so I'm going to try to give you a good overview. In about 2 weeks or so, we'll give you another short sort of a 30-minute podcast with our impressions of Final Stand once we've had a time to play it for a little bit longer. So first of all, we get 4 new maps again, as is the norm for DLCs these days. We get Giants of Karelia, Hammerhead, Hangar 21, and Operation Whiteout. In Conquest Large, these maps are fairly largely sized, and 2 of them are mostly entirely outdoors, 2 of them are sort of half and half. Hangar 21 has got a fairly large indoor area, which is kind of cool. The whole theme of the DLC, which is something I didn't really expect originally, is very futuristic. It leads up towards Battlefield 2142 in a way. There's a lot of similarities, a lot of predecessors to technology that's coming out in 2142. The original storyline for this is that the US has received intel from the Chinese mainland that Russia have been secretly developing new technology far in the north for the next stage of warfare and has sent in the US Marines. So, speaking of new technology, they have added several new weapons and gadgets. We get 1 new gun, which is a battle pickup, the Rorsch MK1, also known as the Railgun. It's supposed to be in the line of a predecessor of the Rorsch MKS8, which is seen in 2142. Slow fire rate, huge damage, single shot, takes about a second to sort of warm up. Kind of a cool gun, definitely a battle pickup because it will take out vehicles as well. There's one other gun I'll talk about later. There's gadgets, the TDD target detector, which is a weapon accessory for carbines and DMRs. What it does, it auto spots targets when you aim down sights. You also have the DS3, which is a decoy gadget for all classes that can be thrown on the ground and creates fake enemies on the opposing team's minimap and also emits sounds of gunfire. It's another prelude to a gadget from 2142, the DS22 sniper decoy. You also have another battle pickup, the XD1 Accipiter, aka the MKV multi-kill vehicle. Similar to the SD8 Accipiter drone that squad leaders in 2142 had, hovers around. It's similar to a UAV that you control, limited fuel supply, and makes a crap ton of noise and sounds pretty intimidating. On the vehicle front, there's a couple new ones. We get snowmobiles, which is fitting because all these maps are set obviously in the north and it's all snowy and cold and all that stuff. Snowmobiles are, I can tell you now, they're going to show up in a lot of videos for stunts and troll videos, all that kind of stuff. You also have the HT-95 hover tank, which has a static turret, so you have to move the entire tank around to aim. Very reminiscent of the tanks we saw in 2142 as well. You have the SC-42, which is a stationary emplacement similar to an AT emplacement, but it fires a volley of 40mm grenades in a spread pattern, so it's actually very useful against infantry as well. Kind of knocks vehicles over, at least it did in the CTE. I didn't have a chance to actually shoot it at a vehicle in my testing just now, but it's kind of neat. You also have pot launchers. If you play 2142, you'll remember those. They're very similar here, sort of seem like a predecessor. They're used on Hangar 21 to launch players, and basically the idea is to launch them up towards the hangar, but you can aim the direction you want to basically launch yourself at. You can eject earlier as well, and I think you can also hit other things with it, so I'm sure we'll see that in videos a lot too. For some special items, we have the Phantom Bow. We don't know how to unlock it just yet. You can use it right now in unranked servers that have all the unlocks opened up. The idea is that you'll probably unlock it by completing one or all of the Phantom assignments. The description reads, the signature weapon of Phantom program soldiers given to members who have completed their initiation. 3 different types of bolts, about a 2-second or so reload. Looks pretty cool, does a fair amount of damage. I've seen some other people in their videos. I guess if you get a torso shot, it's usually a kill. Kind of a cool weapon. I like it. It's a primary weapon on any other classes. It's in the carbine category. And then you have something extra special, which is a bipod knife. It's called the C100. It's actually given to players upon reaching rank 100 in the game. And it's actually a knife with a bipod. It's sort of a little homage to a Battlefield Friends episode. And finally, something cool. one of the maps, Operation Whiteout, there are icicles on some of the buildings, and you can actually go up and hold down R, or the reload button, and pick up an icicle and use it as a knife. So again, a lot of these weapons are sort of predecessors leading up to 2142. I would have liked to have a little bit more of a story tie-in, but I guess with multiplayer DLCs we don't really get that. As with all the DLCs, we get a ton of new assignments. There's 9 of them in total, starting off with a couple of bronze assignments. The disinformation one, you have to affect 10 enemies with M84 flashbangs, that's great, and get 3 melee kills. You also have the I Spy, which means you have to get 2 spotting ribbons and 20 DMR or carbine kills. I'm surprised they keep bunching those up. A couple of silver assignments, getting 30 kills with the XD1 Accipiter and traveling 3 kilometers in it. That's the XD1 Deathbringer assignment. You also got the Snowmobile Slayer, which is 10 road kills in the snowmobile and 5 minutes of airtime in the snowmobile. See, I told you, troll vehicle. The Hover Tank Harbinger, destroy 15 vehicles with the hover tank and spend 10 minutes in it. You also have the Railgun Rampage to destroy 10 vehicles with the Rorsch MK1 and get 25 kills with it. And Mechanized Mayhem, which is 25 kills with the SC-42 and spending 5 minutes in the air with the launcher. I don't know what that means. 1 gold assignment, Frostbite, 10 hours of Final Stand, and winning 10 rounds on each of the 4 maps. And then of course we have the Phantom Operative assignment. Still don't know what the requirements are. It's not the typical one. We can't go into battle log and try to enter a password yet. We actually get a message about something to the effect of physical access restrictions. So people are currently hunting for that, trying to figure it out. We don't know yet. There's also 5 new premium dog tags. I don't know what those are just yet. They're just sort of very futuristic looking and remind me of 2142 a lot. And one little Easter egg, it's sort of a little city built in the snow, and it has a little Godzilla type looking snowman that you can actually shoot and blow up. There's a lot of speculation what city it is, I don't really care, it looks kind of cool. And finally, you get a lot of battle packs. There's a new backdated feature that you earn 1 gold battle pack for every unique service star that you own. I got 30 when I started up. I've heard of people getting upwards of 100, so be prepared to click open a lot if you care about the battle packs. Finally, as with any DLC, Final Stand is accompanied by a client and server patch, which has a large number of fixes and tweaks. I'll put the link in the description if you want to read up on that. Let us know in the comments what you think of Final Stand when you've had a chance to try it out. It's out now for premium members on all platforms, and it will be released for non-premium members on December 2nd. Thanks so much for watching.